After the dramatic finale to the 2021 Formula One season with Max Verstappen winning the title, Toto Wolff and Sir Lewis Hamilton are due to meet and decide upon the Mercedes driver's future in the sport. Having signed a multiple-year contract extension in 2021, Hamilton has been left considering his future in the sport after the pain in which the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix left him in. Wolff is no different, believing the title was stolen from Hamilton, and the Austrian even suggested that Hamilton could well retire as a direct result. No matter what obstacle Lewis has to overcome, he has known his whole life that he has to speak out on the track. Mind you, it is incredibly difficult for him until he finds a way between reason and error. He just needs time. At the latest, we will meet again in February. But when pushed about whether he truly believed if Hamilton would return or not, Wolff could not give a definitive answer. I really hope we'll see him again. He's the most important part of our sport. It would be an indictment for the whole of Formula One if the best driver decides to quit because of outrageous decisions. Wolff also still finds it difficult to comprehend the way the situation played out. What happened to Lewis was just wrong, insisted Wolff. He was unbeatable that day until the race management blew fuses and decided on 3 rule violations. It's just hard to understand. It will always remain with us, even though Max Verstappen is a worthy world champion over the course of the season. But that day, one was better than the other, and he didn't win. Those are the opinions of Toto Wolff and Mercedes, but of course, there are always 2 sides to every story, and there is a section of people who believe that the actions of Hamilton and Mercedes are taking away from Max Verstappen's victory. Ralf Schumacher believes the behaviour of the 7-time world champion is disrespectful to Max Verstappen. He says it was unfair of Hamilton not to attend the end-of-season gala, and believes that now Hamilton should draw a line under the chapter and return to the sport. But that is the problem. At the moment, we just don't know if Hamilton will return. Of course, Mercedes will be keen on talking Hamilton into staying on, but they cannot invest their entire trust in that outcome. Hence, quite a lot of reports that have claimed that Mercedes have already begun looking at other options in case Hamilton does end up leaving them hanging without a lead driver, or certainly one with experience of challenging for titles. His departure could also arrive at the worst possible time for Mercedes, as they chose to replace the experienced Valtteri Bottas with a fairly inexperienced George Russell. Hence, now, with Hamilton potentially departing, the Silver Arrows are under immense pressure to replace him with someone of his calibre. According to multiple sources, Mercedes are reportedly considering 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel as their top priority replacement driver. However, it needs to be clear, the German can only move to Mercedes if Hamilton bows out of F1. Furthermore, there is also Vettel's interest. Is he really keen on returning to a top-filled team after the awful closure to his stint with Ferrari in 2020? Also, is he capable of handling the title pressure after spending over 2 seasons lurking in the midfield and the bottom field? So many questions, too many to answer. But of course, it doesn't really come as a shock that Mercedes are possibly interested in Vettel. They did indeed try to snatch him back in 2018. However, the move turned out to be quite impractical, as Ferrari were showing promising signs of winning a championship title, with Vettel's sole target being winning Ferrari a title. He couldn't give up on it and signed a 3-year contract extension. And well, we all know how the following 3 years panned out with a 4-time world champion. So, amidst a rather awful stint, can Vettel manage to revive his racing career with a move to Mercedes? Ralf Schumacher is already looking towards the future and believes Vettel could be a great replacement alongside George Russell this season. He has the experience, he still has the speed, and above all, he knows the Mercedes car, or the engine. I think the Aston Martin concept is very close. There has also been some upheaval in the Aston Martin team before Vettel has even raced for them, and that may play a factor in any decision he may have to make. Aston Martin long-term principal Otmar Szafnauer quit and has now been replaced by Mike Crack, and Schumacher thinks this could pose a problem for Aston Martin. This change in personnel at Aston Martin may not be ideal for Sebastian, he said. I think Otmar Szafnauer and him was was a good team. However, Aston Martin and Mike Krack are positive about the recent appointment and are excited about the new season. Regarding his appointment, Krack said, "It is a thrill and an honour to have been appointed the position of team principal at Aston Martin, and I'm very grateful to Lawrence Stroll and Martin Whitmarsh for giving me such a fantastic opportunity. I've been working in motorsport for over 20 years and worked in Formula One with Seb Vettel in 2006 and 2007 when I was a BMW Sauber engineer, and he was the team's test driver. I have huge respect for his speed and ability, and it will be fantastic to reunite with him. Lance Stroll is a seriously fast and talented driver too, with 100 Grand Prix starts to his name, and I'm very much looking forward to working closely with him." Hailing Krack's arrival, team owner Lawrence Stroll said winning in Formula One is all about bringing together the best efforts of all the principal players, drivers, engineers, mechanics, everyone, and Mike is perfectly placed to do just that. "We are about to embark on year 2 of our 5-year plan, the objective of which is to win Formula One World Championships. All the ingredients we require are coming together." But despite the positivity coming from the Aston Martin team, the rumours of Vettel and Mercedes to continue between Bernie Ecclestone has thrown in an entirely different suggestion about Vettel's future. Bernie Ecclestone thinks Sebastian Vettel could head back to Red Bull to show people how fast he is in the present day. Vettel was stuck in the midfield for the majority of 2021 in an underperforming Aston Martin after leaving Ferrari at the end of 2020, and a sole podium in Baku was as good as things got for the 4-time world champion last season, despite crossing the line in the top 3 in Hungary before being disqualified. The Aston Martin was only capable of getting towards the outer reaches of the points-paying positions, but doubts have been raised about Vettel's outright pace at Ferrari after being outscored by Charles Leclerc in both their seasons together. Vettel admitted retirement has crossed his mind in the past, but former F1 boss Ecclestone thinks he has earned the right to leave Formula One when he likes, as a move to partner Max Verstappen would show how quick he can still be. He shouldn't be told he's got to retire. We don't know how quick he is anymore because he's not in a competitive car, so it's not easy to say he's not as quick as he used to be. He needs to be back in Red Bull, actually. The 53-time Grand Prix winner has said the fire is still burning within him to have more success in Formula One, but added separately that he's feeling happier now than when he was at Ferrari. But having been one of the most successful drivers in Formula One history, leaving Ferrari for a midfield team led him to question whether or not continuing was the right thing to do, but opted to carry on in the sport. Of course, sometimes you ask yourself the question of meaning, the German said towards the end of 2021. "I'd be lying if I said the thought hadn't crossed my mind yet. If I don't feel the inner drive and ambition anymore and just stick with it to deliver messages or increase the bank balance, that would be a betrayal of the generation that is yet to come and live that dream. But the fire is still burning." So with the fire burning within Sebastian Vettel, it really does make you wonder if the proposal from Mercedes was to arrive, would he seriously consider it? Lawrence Stroll at Aston Martin believes they will be able to win a world championship in the next 4 years. But is that soon enough for someone like Vettel, when he could potentially win championships right now at somewhere like Mercedes or even Red Bull? Sir Lewis Hamilton has kept us all waiting while he ponders his future within the sport, and we are told that he's likely to meet with Toto Wolff at the latest of February. By that point, we really will need answers, as if he does decide to walk away, there will be a huge knock-on effect to the rest of the sport as Mercedes search for the best possible driver from the grid.